Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of the Inner Health Project. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, and I'm here with your host, Hannah Getty. Hello, Hannah.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, this is cool. We're talking about self-massage. Like, how do we do self-massage? Which is interesting because I think I find myself having, my wife will rub my shoulders. I'm like, like, whoa. And I'm like, what if I just kind of took care of some of that for myself? So.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
And I recommend first finding tools so you don't hurt your hands.
Yeah, that's smart.
And you don't have to get anything expensive.
Like a $5,000
tennis ball works really good.
Sure. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Tennis ball's good.
Right.
Yep.
So what I like to do with the tennis ball is put it into a sock, and then you can throw that over your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Then lead into the wall, and you can work out your shoulders.
Oh, nice.
And it's not going to fall because it's in your sock. So you can just move it up and down.
Right. That's good.
You can put that all along your back. You can lean in to the side, get the side of your body, get into the glutes. It works really well, and you're just leaning against the wall with that. And it's working out those knots, helping release that tension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, this tension didn't just happen overnight. So it's been building for a while. So the reason that you would want to do self-massage is to release it, but also you're going to have to keep doing that over time. It's like plugging the meter or going to the gym. You have to keep at it. So
I'm glad you said that. Yes, you're saying that. I'm like, it's a little convicting because I bought a lacrosse ball.
Yeah, those work really well too.
Yeah, and I'll actually bring it sometimes when I'm traveling. If it's a road trip, sometimes I'll sit my hip on it, or if I'm in an airplane, sometimes I'll put it under my butt just because it just gives like release on the tight muscle. Or I'll roll my feet on it because in the airplane, like my feet swell, and then you just roll your feet on it. It feels good.
Yeah.
But it's not a routine in my life, which is the convicting part. I'm like, I do it sometimes when I think of it.
Well, I mean, it's good to try to get into the habit of it. So you could start off like 3 times a week, once a day.
Yeah.
But you want to build that frequency up because the body needs that, because if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to need something to counterbalance that. So if you're always sitting at a desk all day long, you're going to need something to help your glutes out, help whatever your shoulders, because they do get tight because you're like this.
Right.
Help those release the tension. So you have to kind of counterbalance that with
That's so interesting that you would, based on the kind of job somebody has. I know we talked a lot of times in this show about people who are, super growth minded, sometimes business people or athletes, but in each scenario, they have different positions they put their body in a day, which means they'll have different trigger points that are, or muscles that could be released. Like if you're in a corporate job where you sit a lot, you said your glutes, your shoulders, what else might get tight from sitting?
If you're sitting, the hip flexors in the front.
Oh, my hip flexors they're so painful.
Yeah, so those would be good to get maybe like a foam roller, and you can lay on your stomach and kind of just like ease into it. You can also try a rolling pin on the.
Oh yeah.
Just be very gentle, but like the side of your leg, that's called the IT band. That gets a lot of tight for a lot of people.
Is that from sitting too?
It can be, but a lot of runners also get that. If you run a lot, your legs might get really tight on the side. So. Got it.
So foam rolling's another. I mean, I want to come back to positions in a minute, like that people are in, but foam rolling's another tool.
Right.
That you could use. They're not super expensive. Do you have a preference on like the really squishy ones or the really hard ones with like lots of spikes on them? Like,
I don't like the spiky ones.
Yeah.
I don't like the spiky ones. I do like just the smooth ones that give you a nice broad pressure. So you're not going to bruise yourself. That's another thing you want to be careful of, is just to go slow. In the beginning, there's a little bit of a learning curve because you don't really know how your body's going to react to self-massage. So you just have to go slow and ease into it.
Got it. Okay.
So I always tell people, like, if it's a pain scale, 0 being no pain and 10 being severe, when you're working on the muscles, you want it to be around a 5 or a 6.
Oh, that's super helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, and also be able to breathe through it. So if you can't breathe and it's too painful, then you're putting too much pressure on yourself, and it's going to be counterproductive, because the body is going to try to protect itself, and the muscles are just going to tighten up. So you're not doing yourself any good that way.
Got it. Okay. That's super. I have a question. Selfishly, I my hamstrings get really tight, but I don't really know how to foam roll those. Like, it seems like I don't know how to position my body to foam roll my hamstrings. How do you do that? Have you done that?
Those are a little tricky. Have you tried like sitting and then?
Like,
it's kind of hard to not demonstrate.
I know, right? I know. Like, I'll sit like in an L shape, like I would, and then I try to move with my hands behind me, try to push my body down the foam roller.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, I've told people that they could do it that way. You can also take a tennis ball and then stick it, in a place that feels really tight, and just kind of let it sit. Like if you're on a chair, you could just let the weight of your leg compress. And just sit there that way.
I do that with, like I said, like if I'm driving, I'll do it on my hip flexors or on my glutes, but that's great for the hamstring. I haven't thought about that. That's good.
Yeah. And it's going to give you a little bit more direct pressure. So just be careful with that. So.
Yeah. What happens when, what do you see for people who stand a lot? Maybe they're speakers or they're trainers. Maybe they are CEOs who walk around, or they just at a standing desk. What gets tight?
Well, if you're at a standing desk, a lot of people do kind of come forward a little bit. So be careful with the shoulders.
Okay.
Make sure you're standing in proper posture. You're not like hunched forward.
Right.
So a lot of people's feet and legs get pretty tired or tight just from standing a lot.
Right.
And that can be remedied just by the shoes that you're wearing. If you're in high heels, which is really bad for your low back. Then if you're in high heels a lot, I do see a lot of low back pain from that. Or if the arch support isn't correct in your shoe, that can have a lot of effect in the legs and the knees. So that's good. That brings me to the low back. How do we self-massage the low back? So you can take the tennis ball again and then lean against a wall and just put it along the spine and just lean into it.
Do we move it all? Do we just like let it sit there until the muscle relaxes in one spot, or?
Yeah, you can move back and forth a little bit. So the spine, the muscles are running this way. So if you take the ball and you run it across the muscles, that's going to open them up a little bit.
So just kind of like a little rocking back and side to side.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have to have a huge movement. A little movement does a lot.
Okay.
You can also lay on the floor and put the ball underneath you that way. It's just that you're going to have more weight on it. You're not going to be able to release to change the pressure of your weight because your body's laying on it. So that might be a little too deep for some people right off in the beginning.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, is there because I like when I get massages, I like deep tissue massages.
Yeah.
And so like when I'm sitting on the lacrosse ball or whatever, like I'm kind of looking for that, 8 or 9 pain level. I'm like, yeah, that's the spot right there. But is that doing harm? Is that bad?
Well, I mean, if your muscles aren't warmed up, you can bruise yourself. Okay. I don't know if you've ever bruised yourself.
I think I probably have. I'm like, oh, the next day I'm like, that's really sore.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Okay.
It might be a little too deep that you're pushing on your muscles.
Dial it back, Chris. Dial
it back a little bit.
All right. Okay.
So then after you've done the self massage, you can do it for 5 minutes, or do it until I just think I'm done. Your body knows, or if it's getting a little too sore, just stop. And then after that, stretch out that muscle, because that's going to make that mind-body connection. Your brain is going to say, okay, we've got a little bit more length in this muscle now, so now that's going to be my new normal. And you're just retraining your brain to see that your muscles can stretch this farther. So you're increasing your range of motion. So I always recommend that.
Are there any other tools, like we talked foam rollers, tennis balls, lacrosse balls, any other tools that you like or recommend?
Not that I can think of offhand. I mean, there's a lot out there.
Yeah. If I look in Sky Mall or I walk down any sporting goods store, I'm like, there's like all sorts of massage things I didn't know I need. I'm like, look at that.
Yeah. I mean, also your kitchen utensil, like the rolling pin is another one that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
People have these things at home.
Right.
So, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, but just make sure it's something that gives a little bit. It's not like a marble, not super hard. You don't want something really hard and lean into it. That's gonna hurt.
I have one of those. It reminds me because I have it's like a medicine ball, but it's squishier. But it's like 5 pound medicine ball, and it's probably about the size of a cantaloupe. And I'll put it under my neck because it's taller. Like if I lie down flat on my back on the floor, there's too much of a space between the floor and my neck for the lacrosse ball. So I'll sit on that, and sometimes I'll just kind of rock my neck back and forth on that. And that doesn't hurt, and I don't want it to hurt, but it feels pretty good to just rock my neck on that. Other ways to self-massage the neck?
Yeah, I'd be very careful with your neck. So I don't recommend using a lot of tools on the neck. I mean, if you're just laying on like a towel or something and you're trying to get the curve of your neck to be the proper curve when you're laying down, that's fine. But usually I'll just use my fingers. So I'll take them like this, and then I'll just come here and I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll just rock back and forth.
Demonstration, good.
It's kind of hard on here, but and you just want to be very careful because this is the neck. So there's things in here that you can nerves and things that you can damage. So just be very careful of it. If you feel a pulse, just move, but you're not going to hurt yourself if you're on a pulse for a little bit. But
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. Anything else we need to know about self-massage, or anything you want to leave us with?
So then just keep yourself moving. Like once you've stretched, maybe move your joints around, move your whole body around. That's going to help your lymphatic system move. When you do some self-massage, you're freeing up the tissue. So now we've got more circulation in there. We have more lymph that needs to move. So when you move the body, you're helping the lymph move as well, so that can get out of the body. So move around 5-10 minutes. Do some just rotate your joints, stretch your arms out, stretch your legs. Just do a full body. It doesn't have to be really intense, but just like we said in one of our past episodes, just some light yoga for 5 minutes, or just any little bit of movement helps.
Should we do ice or heat after? Does that matter, or maybe it doesn't matter?
Yeah, you could do ice and then heat and then ice. That helps things move as well. If you've massaged too much and it's maybe a little bit swollen, I'd do some ice on it. But try to avoid that.
Is it the same as and then when I'll get a massage, people will say, okay, now drink lots of water. Same thing? Should we drink lots of water after self-massage?
Yeah, I mean, you should be hydrating yourself throughout the day and keeping yourself drinking water that way. But when you're doing self-massage, it's usually on a specific area, so it's not like the full entire body.
Right.
So you're not going to be needing as much water when you're just doing a certain specific area. But you should always be drinking enough water and drinking hydrating foods. So
good.
So yes.
Super good. Awesome. So I shouldn't be smoking while I'm self-massaging. Is that what you're saying?
Shouldn't be smoking, period.
Just kidding. I don't smoke. All right. Got it. All right. Good. That makes total sense. I love it. Okay.
And then one more point, right?
Yeah.
If you do need help, because you're like, oh, well, I have tension, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I have no idea which muscles I should be working on. A lot of times I will educate my clients who come in on, okay, when you go home between massages, these are the muscles that you should be working on. And I show them where they should be working and which muscles they need to focus on. So if you are completely lost and you need help, you can always, give me a call and we can set up a time and I can give you the massage and then also show you how you can extend the value of that massage in between sessions by working at home.
So good. I love it. Awesome stuff, Hannah. So, I mean, now that we all know how to self-massage, it sounds like a little bit of work, and I'd just prefer that you do it. How do people reach out to you for a massage from you?
Yeah, if you want me to do all the work.
Yeah, exactly.
You can find me at the innerhealthproject.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Inner Health Project, the Facebook group. You can just go and join and search for me that way and find me there.
Okay, good. And it's innerhealthproject.com, right? Is there a the on the front or no?
No, there's no the, but it's hard to say. Innerhealthproject.com.
Innerhealthproject.com. We should have like a jingle, maybe like Expedia, innerhealthproject.com, something like that, maybe. All right. Good stuff, Hannah. Thanks for your time today. Good episode. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
See ya.